Good morning, grade 10s. As you can see, this morning we are doing drawing number 9 out of your textbook of the mechanical castings. There's a little bit of extra work that we need to explain. Number 1, with regards to a keyway. If you look at this object here, you can see that there's a keyway. And remember, we have cut through a rib. So in this specific one, our one cutting plane is for the side view where we cut through the rib. And then the other one is in the front view where we also cut through the rib. As you can see, I have already inserted a lot of the things that needs to be there, so I don't have to do it right at the end. It's just to limit some time spent on the drawing. So the first thing that we need to do is these red lines are then center lines that I'm going to use, and the blue lines is then the sizes of my views. So if I look at my drawing that I got to do, the length of the drawing is 90, the height of it will then be 65, and the width is 50. So if I look at what's going on there, the distance from there to there is 50 for the width, which is correct. The length in my front view is 90, and the height is 65. This center line here is the center line that's given there, that is 45 millimeters high. Okay, so that means I can actually extend that center line all the way to the other side, and then I can start my drawing. So if I then carry on with this, that circle drawn there is a diameter of 40, which means the radius is 20. Okay, if I then also look at the height of this part here, it is 10 millimeters high. So I can draw a line from here to here, which is 10 millimeters high. And remember, when I draw something, I can always project it to another view. So I don't have to do it later on. If I now look at what that front view needs to look like. Remember the first time we did some tangency? So if I look at this here, I need to now draw these ribs at the back, join the circle there as a tangent. So if I'm going to draw that line in there, I need to draw it from there, not to the circle center. I need to draw the line as a tangent. Now if you look at these two, and I look at what's going on there, which one is the better one of the two? Hopefully you said that one. So there we go, as well as the one from the other side. Okay, so we've got that information in there now. Now, if we look at what we still got to do, we still got to put the rib in here, and we still got to put in the keyway. Okay, so let's just go back a little bit. The rib is then also 10 millimeters wide. So all I'm going to do here is draw a circle quickly of 5. Then I know there's a line that's going to be from here to here. There's a line that's going to be from here to here. I can get rid of that. And then the circle on the inside is now radius 10. There's the circle there. So I've got to draw the circle on the inside, which is radius 10. And then I've got a keyway. It says there 6 by 6, which means I then got to draw a line from there 6 down. Nope. I just need to pick up that point. As you can see, I've now got a problem. It picks up 2 different points there. So I'm going to say there then 6. Then I can draw my line here 3 millimeters away this way, 6 millimeters long, and take it all the way to there. Okay, so if I look at my object and I look at my front view, for now that is correct, nothing more. Remember, the reason why we do that is I said to you, always when you start with a drawing, rather start with a circle. Because me working with a computer is much more accurate. So I can start wherever I like. Let me just make this a bit smaller so you can see the rest of the question. Okay, now if we then want to go and finish the top view, we can see that this part at the top, the circular feature, sticks out at 25 millimeters. Okay, so I can take this here to there, and this here to there. And my distance for that is going to be 25. So from there to there, that is, oopsie, I'm going to need that anyway, but I just want to draw this line from here to here. Then I can do the projection from there to there and coming down. So I can get rid of the 25 here, which then gives us this line will be from there to there, hidden detail, will be from here to here, hidden detail. Okay, if we look at the thickness of the rib, ooh, I can't really see it, but now you must remember, sometimes in the subject, we give you or don't give you a measurement. That then is left to you. I'm sure that you agree with me that that distance looks the same as that distance. So that will be 10 millimeters. So what I then need to do is I need to draw this line in 10 millimeters away. Okay. And now if I look at it, this line, that angled line that I've drawn earlier, this is where that line will stop for both of these. Which means I now need to project this line to there to know where it stops, and the same, this one here to where it stops. Okay? Those two will stop there. So this line and this line must now be on my outline layer. It must be thicker. I'm definitely going to see my whole rectangle from the top. Then this is now where I said earlier I need to do a few things. Let me just do that part and that part. You can see where some of these coming from. Did the wrong one on both. So it's two outside ones, because that is the diameter of 40. So that means I can make this dark. I can make that dark. I can make that dark. And now you can clearly see that there shouldn't be dark, which means that line will fall away because the rib is lying inside that. So it's forming one object. This here will be hidden detail. Hidden detail. And then don't forget that we have got a keyway in here. The keyway starts from there to there. The keyway starts, make sure you got the right point, from there to there. Okay. And now the last bit, I cannot forget about taking my rib all the way in. So the rib will then meet that line there, and the same on the other side. So the rib will be there and there. Okay. So I've got a small problem here, because the rib is not going to be hidden detail here. The rib is going to be solid. Let's just make sure here. This one here. Okay. Sorry. Now, where did I just draw that line? This is where it needs to be. So there is my rib, and I am now sure that my top view is now looking the same as my object. So if we look at that, now we've got the top view. And yes, I have to go and cut my front view, because there's the cutting plane. Now, as I look at it, because that rib is at an angle, I can't finish my front view yet, because I need to put this cutting plane, need to transfer it here to that angle part, so I can then cut my front view here. Okay? So that means we now still need to finish my left view first. So this line will go from there all the way to here, then all the way to there. It will go from there to there, to there, to there. And then if I project my rib on the side, remember now I've got to pick up that point there all the way to the bottom. I need to put the inside circle in, the diameter of 20, so there will be a line from here to here, and there's the keyway at the bottom all the way through, and then the bottom line will be this one here. Okay, so I know what I'm looking at. For some of you there might be a few problems with regards to what you are seeing now, but if you look at what's happening there, this here and this here looks very similar. But remember now, we are cutting through that object, which means it comes back to what I said to you earlier. You have to draw the object the way it looks before you cut it. So if I'm now going to put a cutting plane in it, you can clearly see here, this is going to be then the cutting plane for the front view. Okay? And this is going to be the cutting plane for the side view. So again, this program irritates me big time when that comes up, because now I can put the cutting plane in there, and we'll come back to that just now. Okay? So let's just minimize this to the side again. So, remember now, I am cutting through all of these objects in the middle, and it would look something like that. So, that line will then be dark from there to there to there to there. I can now make some of these lines darker, which I've just drawn. That one, 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 and that one. That's what I'm cutting through. Now, some of you will say to me, but sir, this line here, and this line here must fall away. Again, that is a rib. I do not section a rib in the direction that I'm looking at. If I'm looking in that direction, the rib is not affected. I'm drawing it like this. Okay? The next step is I need to put my hatching in, which means if I'm going to put my hatching in, let's just get rid of all of the construction lines. And I did see that line, but I just never made it dark. So that line is now my right view. And if I'm going to hatch this, it's going to be there and there only. Okay, it looks a bit confusing at the moment. Let's just get rid of that one. So let's just change the pattern here. Let's go to user. We go to 45 degrees and we go to 4 millimeters wide. And we just say match this property to that property. And then this must be on the hatching layer. That is the most important thing, because at the moment it's a little bit too thick. That's better. Okay, so that is then the right view drawn. And now the last thing that I need to look at is then to do the completed sectional front view, which means I am taking this cutting plane all the way to my right view, and then this will then give me, oops, I can now see that these lines are supposed to be construction lines. Okay, there's my construction lines. That line must be an outline. Okay, so to finish this front view then, I need to make this dark, I need to make this dark, and this dark. That one must be dark, that one must be dark, that one must be dark. I can see that I've worked a little bit inaccurate here, which again is not a massive problem on AutoCAD, because I can just move this point ever so slightly up, and then I can take all of this and move it to here. And there we go, sorted. You can't do that on a drawing board. Okay, so if I now look, my front view is almost complete. My right view is complete. I just need to put the hatching in here, but before that I need to make those lines dark. And I need to insert the hatching. So hatching will be here and here. There's a problem. Let's just go hatching. We go and change the pattern first. And we go to here. And we go to here. And we go 45 degrees. And we go 5 millimeters in between them. And we make it the hatching layer. Okay, last step. I must insert my center lines. So I'm just going to not cheat a little bit, but just make it a bit easy on myself. So now I can just extend this one by 3 millimeters, this one by 3 millimeters, that one by 3 millimeters, that one by 3, that one by 3. Don't need this one anymore, and this one by 3. Okay, and then we can make them center lines, because that's what they need to be. They need to be center lines, and they need to be there. Okay, grade 10s, that will then be the answer for this question. Remember, I need to label the views, section A, A, B, B, according to the cutting plane. I need to insert a name and a title and a scale, and I need to show the projection symbol. But for those of you that do not understand, let's just focus then on the two views here. And let me take this away. And we look at the two cutting planes. If I cut that way, if I clearly look at this now, I can see that the shape of my rib changes, because I can see my rib in this direction, but by moving the cutting plane in that direction, the shape changes. Therefore, by bringing in from the side, remember there's cutting plane AA, there it goes, there it goes. So therefore, the sectional front view will look like that. Okay? And then if we look at the sectional right view, and we put in that cutting plane, there is the cutting plane. So if I now move my cutting plane, and now this program doesn't want to play ball, I now move my cutting plane. You can clearly see here that we are cutting through a hollowed area there. That's why that is not section, because it is the keyway here, people. I'm not cutting through anything solid here. That's where the keyway stops, and this is then the solid area of that object, and then also above. That is why this view looks like that. Okay, I would like you to do all of these drawings as far as you can get, and when we see you guys again at school, we can work with your answers.